sure if Franca is coming, so let's start. Yeah, we are waiting for 3 minutes. Okay, you can open your video. Oh, hello everyone. So today we will discuss about object-oriented programming, or OOP. Okay. So far what you have learned in our class until today is basically called structural way of programming. So you create the code and then put them into function or using def, function name or method name, right? So there's another container, kind of container like module, which is called class, okay, and object. So basically OOP, or object-oriented programming, is a kind of way of thinking, is kind of paradigm, okay, in the programming, so that we can abstract things. We only need to think in terms of object and then relation between one object and another. Okay, that is how we program. When we use method is basically like verb. Object is kind of noun. Okay, so when we create object-oriented programming, so then each class, it's called a kind of type of object, okay? And then the type of object will have an instance called the object itself. For example, fish is a kind of object, right? So now we call this fish as a class, category, right? Category of many fishes. Now, salmon is another type of fish, right? Now, if you buy certain salmon in the market, okay, and you give name to that salmon, then this is an object. Okay, so basically you have a class of object that can be inherited to another class of object, and then when you realize this class of object into something that is tangible, then this is called object. Okay, let's start with the material which is in my website. Okay, you can also access the links from Moodle. So object-oriented programming. So everything in Python is actually object. So for example, you talk about 2, number 2 is an integer, right? Integer itself is an object. So one way to test that if it is an object or not is to use a function isInstant. Okay, the syntax is something like this. I'll share my screen. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so isInstant, okay? If instant of 2, okay, in the meaning is, I want to know if 2 is an instant of an integer. So I create a new book. I open Jupyter here. You can also do the same. So there, true, right? Is 2 is an object or not? 2 is an integer, but 2 is also actually an object. Why? Because all object is derived from what is called object. Okay, there is a class named object which is on the top of everything. Did you get it? So for example, ABC is instant. ABC is a string, yes or no? Yes. So it's true, right? That ABC is a string. Then you ask if ABC is actually an object. Okay. Then again, it's true. That means string is also an object. Then you want to know, oh, tell me what is object. So we type help for the object. Okay. Then you will see what is class object. There is a class named object. This is the base class of all class hierarchy. Okay. And then when you call help like this, you will see all the methods inside that object class. Okay. These are the methods. Okay. And using this, you can see what is the return value for each method inside the object. Okay. Python also have many built-in functions. Okay. So then you will say, okay, I want to know what is the method, okay, the built-in function inside this certain object. So I will copy and paste here. Okay. Suppose my object, I call this OBG is an object. Then this code in line 2 here will tell me about all the method inside the object. There. These are all the method inside the object. So for example, oh, my object is actually an integer. Okay, I want to know what integer can do. Then you will see, oh, inside the integer there is absolute, addition, and boolean, ceiling, and so on. These are all the method inside integer. Can you see this? Oh, what is the method inside string? So you just change. The object is a string, then you will see string have this method. Okay. Now, so what we just learned, everything in Python is object, and there is a class called object. Okay, and we can check what is the method inside that object by using this code. So up to here, is there any question? Are you okay? Now, in object-oriented, there is two types. Okay, one is called class, the other one is called object. Okay. What is class? Class is a blueprint design of an object. Okay. The object is an instance of the class. A person is a class. Okay. Person is a class. Employee is a class. Right? So employee is a person. Right? So let me share my whiteboard so that you can see. So I have a person. Okay, so this is a class of a person. Then I have employee. This is another class, right? I have student. That is also a person. Student is also a person, right? Now, Pancha, okay, is a student, right? So Pancha here is a person. Pancha is also student. But of course, when we define Pancha, in this case, Pancha is actually an object, an instant of the student. Okay. The person, the students, employee are the classes. Can you distinguish object and class? Tell me what you learned. I need to get your input.
So sir, the class is the type of object, I think.
Correct.
Is it? And the object is the thing that, and we can name the object whatever we want.
Yes, the value itself.
The value itself, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, if I have an object of like 1, 2, 3, and the class would be integer, something
like that. Correct. Okay. And then a class can inherit other class. Okay. Something like this. A person and student, right? The student inherit a person. Employee inherits a person. So meaning all the method, all the properties of person will be inherited to students. For example, person have name, right? Then the student also have name. The person have age, then student also have age. Can you understand the meaning of inheritance here? Inherit means when you create a person with certain method, and then you said student inherit person, that means the student, you don't need to copy all the method in and properties of person, automatically it's copy. Okay, let's say it later with the example. Anyway, so what is class? So, okay, class or object in this case is basically method plus properties combined together. So properties are constant data. Okay. Method is basically function. So by using object oriented, you will think the object as the noun and then the method as the verb. So for example, person eat. Eat is a method. The person is the class. Is it clear? The paradigm. So you can create noun and verb, okay, like in the language, right? Then you can design the things that you want.
Sir.
Yes.
From your example, Pancha is the object, right? But student and person is the class. So there is a possibility that there is a class in a class.
Correct. There is a class of a class possibility. Okay. A rectangle is a class, right? A square is another class, right? But a square is actually a rectangle with spatial type, which is the side is exactly the same, between the height and the length is exactly the same. So then we can say square inherit from the rectangle. Then a special square which is, say, certain garden, you create a garden and the shape is a square, then that garden is a square, that garden is an object. Is this clear? So, okay, so now what is the difference between class method and function? The difference is only one, okay? The first parameter of any method of the class should be a certain name. The name is up to you, but usually by convention, you will use self. Okay, self. So by putting self, then as the first parameter, okay, then you can refer this as class method. By putting self and then the variable name, then you can refer this as the property of the class. Okay, so okay, let's do this. In Jupyter, let's practice. Okay, let's define the first class. What class do you want to make?
Sir, we are still on your whiteboard.
Oh, I'm still in your whiteboard. Okay, let's open your Jupyter. Okay. Let's call your Jupyter and then let's define a class. So say I want to create a class named utensil. Okay. You know, like plate, fork. Okay. Then I will just pass it. There. I define a class named utensil. Right? So my fork is actually a utensil. Right? So my fork is an object. So you want to know what is my fork? There. Oh. Okay, the type is just type in this case. So now the simplest class is just the class and the name of the class. Okay, so if I said my fork, you will see there is, my fork is actually a utensil. My fork is an object, the class is utensil. Okay. Now, if you want to define, of course, this is not so useful, right? So now if you want to define the class properly, then you need to initialize. Okay. Say, for example, you create something like this. Okay. So the class will have nothing, just initialize. Then again, it's the same, right? But in initialize, for example, you need to have color. Okay, the utensil have color. So then I will say self, comma, color equal color. Okay, so then I create a fork. My fork is utensil. right? And my fork color, oh, sorry, my utensil is now blue. Okay. So then I want to know what is my fork color. It's blue. Do you understand the meaning of this? So initially, I created a class named utensil, and the utensil have property named color. Okay. When I created an object of class utensil, and I put this kind of parameter here, blue, it will go inside the property of utensil with this color. So when I said my fork color, then it becomes blue.
Sir,
Yes.
mine says utensil takes no argument.
Oh, can you share your screen in that case? What's the problem? Stop sharing and then. Okay, can you share your screen? Oh, your init must have a double underscore
Oh,
and the
on
last
both
also.
sides.
Correct. Run it again.
Oh yeah. Okay. It
Okay.
was my mistake. Okay, sir, sorry.
No. That is the what is that? Standard name, right? Init must be double underscore. Okay. So is there anyone has problem? Mancha, maybe? Eileen?
No, sir, I'm good.
Good, huh? Okay.
I'm good, sir.
Yes, very good. So let's say I have name fork 2 with I just copy my fork. Okay. And then I want to know fork 2 color. Still blue. Why? Fork 2 color.
Because fork 2
Because,
equals to
yeah, because fork 2 is
fork.
equal to my color, and my color dot my fork dot color is blue, so my fork 2 dot color
Yeah.
will be blue as well.
Yes. So fork 2 and my fork is actually referring to the same memory address. It's exactly the same object. Okay. So next. Now come back to our utensil here. Okay. I want to create another class. So I want to create another class. My class is fork and utensil. Okay. And in here, I will just have name. Okay, my fork have name, whatever it is. So then self name. Okay. So I created this. What is the meaning of this? This means I created another class, another type named fork, okay, that inherited from utensil. Okay. And I will say, look, Now I have my utensil. Utensil is blue. Oh, no. I will make it like this. My fork is equal to fork. Okay. So this one is finished, right? And then my fork is actually a fork. And then I will type my fork color equal red. And my fork name is my own name, Karti. Okay. Now I want to know. Now fork 2 is my fork, and I want to know fork 2 color. Oh, it's red. What's going on here? You see, in the class fork, there is no color, right? In the class fork, there is no color, but I can assign color here.
Because the class fork also call the class utensil, and
Yes,
utensil has color.
exactly. Because class fork inherit, okay, from class utensil, and utensil has color, right? So then everything inherit, like children inherit the parent, right? So everything in class fork will copy everything of the parent, which is in this case color. So I can reuse, okay, what the parent has done. Then you will say, oh, but I don't like the color of that utensil, right? I'm using European style rather than US, so I want to name it color. Oh, okay. Oh, so then you will say self color. Okay, let me make it the same, color like this, so that you will see. Okay, self color equal color. Okay. So if you do like this, okay, what happened is this is called overriding. The parent self color is no longer the same as fork color. Can you see this? Okay, the parent color here is no longer the same as the fork. Initially, without this line number 8 and 9, you can refer color as red, which is within the class fork, right? But because you redefine what is the meaning of color, okay, then the one in the utensil is no longer valid for the fork.
But if we define my fork as a utensil, that's still valid.
The utensil itself still valid, right? But because you redefine the same name, exactly the same name as the parent, then this is, you practically override what the parent has defined.
Sir, what is the difference between initialize and just defining color? Why
That,
we have to use
that is
initialize?
no different. But in here, the difference is here. If you put utensil, okay, I will show you utensil, right? So my utensil equal utensil, right? So when you put init, that means everything in the parameter here after the first, that will be the initial value of utensil. So say I put red. Okay. So if we ask, what is my utensil? My utensil, okay, is an object. But if you ask my utensil color is red. Okay. Now we create a new object, my fork, right? My fork equal fork. So in here, you don't put any parameter. Why? Because you see here, there is no init, right? In the fork, there is no init. That means you don't put any parameter.
Oh, so we cannot put any parameter there. So we cannot
Yes.
put color equal red.
Oh,
or
you want to try? Let's make it with the color now. Okay, blue. So then I want to make my fork color blue. This one will refer to the, oh wait, maybe I need to remove, actually should not work. I think
I
because,
think it's referring to the first one from
no,
utensil.
because the memory. Okay, when we run it again, we restart and clear output. Okay, let's start with here, right? And we create red. Okay, and I create blue. Oh, still blue. It's still correct. So it's apparently referring to the first class.
Oh, sir, I think it's because, oh yeah, because it has the first class, right? So if we just make another class without inheriting from utensil, it may not work.
So let's remove this, okay? Let's try, Let's remove this. Okay. So the class fork is no longer inherit from utensil. So, and I create my fork. Oh, it's no longer working, right? Because fork takes no argument, right? Because there is no init in the fork. Right.
But if we use init, we still can use fork my utensil.color is equal to red or something like that. We still can use. Oh, yes.
If we use init, okay, let's try, okay? If we use init, okay, so now I don't want to use name like this, okay? I will use init, call name and color, okay, directly. I will name it, name and color directly, okay? So what happened is I created my fork. So let's remove utensil. My fork is blue. Is it working? No, you know why? Because in the
It needs two.
two, okay? So the name must be Marlin, Blue Marlin. My folk Marlin Blue is error. Folk have no name. Oh, name. Yeah, right. Then we can get this one delete. So we can start to see my fork name, Martin, right? So my fork color blue. So do you get it? Init mean you need to have initialize of that class. There is no difference even whether you want to put it in the init or in a function. But the difference is in the init, you need to put it the parameter of the class in here. Without this init, you can of course say, oh, def name, def color, right?
Oh, yes.
Like a while ago.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, clear, yeah?
Sir,
Yes, yes.
I still don't get it, the function of the self.
Okay, okay. Self is to refer to that object. Okay, you don't need to name it self. You can name it Livy, or you can name it Joy if you don't want self. Say I will name it Joy, and here is Joy. It's the same. As not it's not the name. It's the first parameter to refer to itself. You got it? I want to refer to myself. So common name is of course self, right? So if I put other name, so sometimes you don't know what's the meaning. So it's just an standard name so that we know that this is self mean, if I want to refer to myself, what is that? Me. If you don't like self, I will change to me. Me is also okay. Okay, so instead of self, I will call it me. Okay, so it's the same. So it will run exactly the same. It will run exactly the same. So if you don't want this blue, I will turn it to red. Okay, the color is becoming red.
And then what's the function after we define the me, comma color? What's the function, the line below that? The me dot color equal to color.
This one,
Yes.
this means I have a property. If I say, look, I want to know name, okay?
Mhm.
Whose name, right? Me in the name. Me in this case is referring to fork,
Mhm.
okay? If fork name, then copy this name inside. Can you get it? I will. Shall I put it in the whiteboard? So a while ago, what is the? Okay, so I have a def. Okay, this is inside. I have self name, for example, huh? And then I will say self name equal name. Okay.
Mhm.
The first name here is copying here. The self name is represent the object with this class 4, right? So this class 4 is represented by self. I want to know which name. Oh, it's not that name, it's the fork name. Okay, let's try another example so that you will see. Okay. Method is a function, right?
Mhm.
Every object will have method and property. Okay. So the only difference is now you will add self. Okay, can you see my screen? So object is method plus property, method is a function, okay? And method represent the behavior, the verb, the action of that object, okay? So why we use method instead of function? Yeah, because now we said method is a function inside the class. Okay, the first parameter of method is always self or me, representing that class. After that, all the other parameters. Okay. So we can replace the name of self into any other name as long as it is the first parameter. Second, class property, right? What is class property? Class property is an attribute or data. Okay. What's the difference between property and method? In method, you always have parentheses. In property, you never have parentheses. So something like this. Object attribute equal value. Yeah. This is to set a value. Object attribute is to get the value. Okay. Let's try with the rectangle class here. Okay. I'll copy and paste. So you see here, I have a rectangle class, okay, and then I put rectangle geometry. And then I have init. What is this init? To initialize. When I define rectangle, I need to define the width and the height. Okay, and then there is a method called area. What is area? Area is width and height, right? But which width? Which height? Of course, the area, the self width times self height. What is this? This is mean the rectangle width and the rectangle height. So basically, I store this width that I inputted into a variable named self width and self height. Okay. And then I can reuse, because I already stored it, I can reuse it in another method within the same class. So when I put self, that will become public within the same class.
Oh.
Right? I know you like public variables, right? So within the class, you can define public variable that is self.
Okay.
Okay, so let's try. Okay, you copy and paste this. So now I created a new rectangle. So I define this rectangle. Okay, there's nothing because I defined. So let's say rect A equal rectangle. Okay, I know the width is 4, the height is 7, right? So, and then I want to know rectangle A area. Huh? There, 28. you see that? Okay. How does it work? Meaning that when I put rectangle A, which is an object of rectangle, class A, class rectangle, right? So the width is 4, the height is 7, right? And then go inside this line 5, and then in line 6, I assign the width into self-width. In line 7, I assign the height into self-height, right? And then when I ask rectangle A dot area, that means it will call this line 9 here, the area self, and then it will return self-width times self-height. So rectangle A is an object. Rectangle is a class. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yeah, clear, very clear. Yeah, you see. So of course you want to change into something else. Say the width is 3, the height is 7.5. Oh, I want to know like this. If I did not put any name, okay, the order is width, comma, height, isn't it? But I can replace it differently. Okay, instead of width, comma, height, I can say the height is 7 and the width is after the height. The width is 4. Will it work?
Yes.
It worked correctly. Okay. So if you specify the name of the variables, of the parameter, then order doesn't matter. If you don't specify, then the order is exactly the same as the init. Clear, yeah? Okay. Now, there is something nice here. Python have what is called docstring. Documentation is based on the string that you type. So when you comment class rectangle geometry here, so I will ask, okay, can you help rectangle? So I will put here, help rectangle, right? You see, the name that I typed there in the string here will be copied. And then it will say rectangle have width and height, something like this. And then the init is this one. Okay, there is a area as the method. Inside, actually there is other method, okay, that is automatically enter with this dictionary and weak reference. Yeah, in this case, of course, we don't need it. Okay, so by putting docstring like this, so you practically can document your code easily. Okay, so until here, is there any question? So you know how to define class, you know how to initialize the class, right? So the next idea is called encapsulation. Okay, encapsulation, make it modular. The idea of encapsulation is to bundle the data, the property, and the function, the method. Okay, so that it will become a single unit called object. That's why I mentioned earlier, object is just method plus property. Okay, so the idea is to hide the implementation. So you can design your program without coding. The idea of OOP, object-oriented programming, is you can design your program without any coding. Yeah, design is not the same as coding. So you design using diagram. This is called class diagram. Okay. What is class diagram? Class diagram is simply something like this. Okay, class diagram is simply a rectangle, okay, with a name. For example, the name is person. Okay, what is this? This is the name of the class. Okay, and then so when I create a class diagram like this, then I know the program later will contain a class named person, right? And then that person will have property name. Okay, so I know. And then we'll have birthday, for example. And then we'll have a class method age. So if I know the birthday, okay, so I will have a method age. So because this is method, so I put parentheses. Oh, okay. Now I created this class diagram with name and birthday and age. Can you make it into code? Can you make it into code? Okay, try to make a class. So can you make a code of this class? Okay, later on, you create an object, yeah, of your own name and your own birthday, and then calculate the age. Can you? Oh, practice. Anyone want to share your screen? Livy, probably.
Okay, sir. Share screen.
So there is a name and birthday. Okay, how do you return the birthday? So you can use date time. Yes.
So the return is date time.
Yes. Something like this. I will show you. Yeah. So here, instead of days, you can calculate as years.
Do we use date util, sir?
Do I use what?
Date util.
Did you tell? Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
There are many ways in Python that you can use as long as it works and get exactly the same result. Does it work? Pancha, you want to show your screen?
I'm
Still
still
working?
trying the date
Okay.
time.
Eileen,
Also trying.
okay. How about you, Joy?
I'm still trying, but this one, I don't know why something is not defined. I'm just gonna check it first.
So let me try. Use. So, years between say 2021 now is 05 and what 11 comma say for example 1990s 05 6. Oh, it's not working. No attribute years. Only have days. Yeah. Okay. So you can try something like this. So, or you can make it integer. And this is 31. So the birthday is in this format of string. This Livy, is it working already?
Wait. Um,
Anyone want to share the screen?
I can share my.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm trying this, and I think it's today. So I think we return D1 is today, right? So
No, you need to name it. Yeah, today.
so 11 May.
Oh,
So
just check what is the
D1
time today. I think you used
0 0. So sorry.
date time today. Date time Python
Oh,
today. Right?
comma self.
Supposed to be today. Date not today.
Is it like this, sir?
Hmm, Yes.
Daytime today, self birthday.
date time. I think date. So
Oh.
date today.
Date dot today.
Yes, something like this one. Right. So from date time import date, today is date dot today.
Mhm.
I think it's a string.
Oh. Oh, it has to be a string.
Yes, has to be string.
Doesn't date is not
Date
defined.
is not defined, so you need to put date from date time import date.
Oh, okay. Module datetime has no attributes. strp time. Wait. strp time. Yeah, that's correct. Why it doesn't?
That's 30 time. That's correct. I have no problem with that.
Oh. Why it doesn't want to run
Let me check.
datetime from datetime?
So let me print today. That's no problem. So then I will put today.
Oh.
So I'll just make one no more. Oh, str must be string, not the time. Okay, then I need to put it into string. Okay, something like this, Pancha.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Can you see it?
So
This one is
oh,
not the date time.
okay. So
Okay.
date today.
Of course, in your case, this one become birthday, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
So sir, oh, we only take one input then. Yeah.
You
D2.
take only one input. Right. Okay, so next is, okay, I need to explain what private variables.
Sir, I got an error. Can I share
Show
this?
me, show me, show me.
Okay. Mm,
Set time between and then birthday.
What?
Oh, you did not define the age. You did not define. The age is not defined yet.
Oh, I need to put it here.
In the line, the last line, in the last line,
Below the age.
the age. You did not define anything there. That's why it's error. Yes. If you put pass only, it will not error. Yes. See?
Okay.
You still need to define what is age.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you probably want to create a class named person. Let me show the screen. You probably want to define class named person, right? And then def plus init plus self what name and birthday. I will create the initial value of the birthday. So I will say 99, right? Plus 12 plus 31. So that why I define it this way, so that the person knows that this is the format. Okay. Then I say, okay, self name equal name, self birthday equal birthday. Okay. Okay, I got it. And then def it's just self, right? And then it will return. Oh, I need to get this. I copy this. This one. Yes, between T2 is no more T2. Okay, so I'll copy this. Okay, and I'll say between D and self birthday. Okay. Copy this here so that it will work. There it is. Oh, invalid syntax. Where is the symbolic? This one. Invalid again. Where is the invalid? This one. Okay, it runs. So then I will say Cardi is a person. Right? With name Cardi. and birthday. Oh, I did not specify my birthday as if that is my birthday. Then I want to know card age. Oh, it said that I am 21 years old. Right? Can you make it?
Yes, sir. It works with mine as well.
It works, huh?
Mhm.
So then I will share now the whiteboard again. Okay, so I will erase this object. Now I create another class, okay? So let's create a class name student. Okay, student. Okay, and then probably we'll have a course. Course number 1. Then course number 2. This is a property. Okay, your course is IPE, so maybe no need to have 2. 1 is enough. So let's delete. Okay, student will have course. Okay, now of course, student is a person, so it inherit, right? Okay, student is a person, so it inherit from a person. Can you make it? So if you make the person already finished, then can you make that student have property of course? Eileen, you want to share?
Let me try first because I was trying to do with a different approach.
Okay.
Sir, I got an error again.
Again, okay. Livy, show your screen.
Okay.
When you get an error, you should be happy. You know why? Because computer can see your error. Okay. Oh, yes. Your day between, right? Your days between its current date and birthday,
Yes.
and then you have today. So that means the days between is only having one parameter. No need 2 days because the current date is already today.
So I just delete it.
No, not that one. The parameter.
This one.
Current date. No. In definition, days between current date. That current date, no more.
Oh,
Yes, only birthday, right? Okay, that is me birthday. Right? So if me birthday, you don't need to put as parameter because that is already inside anyway. So it's a public inside that person. So you just no need parameter. Okay. And then that one, the birthday, in this line, annotate. Where is, okay, this line, Levi. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
That one, you name it into me birthday.
Me dot birthday.
Dot birthday, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the 8th is return days between. Days between. Oh, yeah, this is in days, so you can divide by 365. It. You need to define a person, say Levi equal person. Levi equal person, right? And then open parenthesis. Okay, what is the name Levi, for example? With capital. It's a string, so you need to put a quote. Levi, and then the next one is the birthday. The birthday, you put it into that format. Comma, quote again, is what is your birthday, for example, 1990s, whatever name, whatever birthday you can put.
Put the date or
Yes, for example, 2000.
2000. Yeah, maybe two.
So, or whatever.
Okay.
February, okay. Then you can put Levi 8. Not 8, okay. So remove the others. No need 8 between, just Levi 8. Okay, enter it. Oh, there is a problem. Oh, 8 is a, parenthesis. It's a method. Oh, okay. The days between, you need to put me. Days between. That one you put me. And then in the last line, me dot days between. Return me dot. Yes. With the close parenthesis. Because open and close parenthesis. Yes. Okay. Enter. Enter. Oh, what's the error? Date time has no attribute. Oh, what is your me birthday? Okay, make it string.
Which one?
In days between 1, 2, 3, in the third line, inside days between. Me birthday is a string, right?
Which one? Oh.
I don't know, it's supposed to be something. Okay, run. Still not working.
Yes.
Okay. Can you go up a little bit? Go up a little bit. This is correct. Anyone can help? Why this is not working?
Oh, it will not work if it's import datetime. It has to be from datetime, import datetime. It works. It happens to me as well.
Really?
This one?
Yeah, no, the first one.
The first
From
one,
datetime,
import
from
datetime,
datetime, import date.
from datetime into datetime. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it works.
Oh.
I have the same problem as Leafy and it works.
You still keep the second one. So the first one would be from datetime import datetime, and the
Datetime
second one from
import
datetime
datetime.
import date.
Oh, okay.
Datetime from date, yeah, okay. That one date, right? So run it.
And then run the
Oh, what happened?
Oh.
Just
No.
try to use one because I tried using only one and it works. At first I have the same problem as Leafy.
It's a datetime problem.
I think D is not
See?
suitable with the format. Wait. Oh yeah, that's correct.
The format is supposed to be fine. Year, month, day, right? Anyway, it's just datetime problem. From datetime import datetime. From datetime import date.
Try removing the from datetime import date.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
But we still use that for the today. Today is equal date dot today.
Yes.
So
Still error.
we need that.
Still error.
Mhm.
What is the problem?
D is a better different.
Is it you use DAS exactly like the format that you said?
Or maybe I should change it to small d.
Lowercase.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
small M and small d. The Y is still capital.
The format is the problem. You did not import.
Ah, yeah.
Oh yes.
Wait,
And
why
then
is it
divided by
7?
365.
Because you did not
Oh,
divide
yeah.
by 365.
No. Keep the date. Keep the days. And then outside the parentheses.
Outside,
Yeah.
you divide by
Slash.
365. Divide. Okay. Yes.
But-
Working.
Yeah, it's working now.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Now you create a new class, name it student, and then that class actually inherited from the person.
Like this. Then, and then what we want to looking for, sir?
Nothing. You just try to make it so that now Libby. Okay, just init is a course. Have init okay, and course, right? So self or me is up to you. Course, okay, and colon. Not yet. Colon first. Colon and then me course equal course. Okay, good. So now you define Levi as a student. No. In the next, a while ago, in 93. This is already finished, right? Definition is finished. This is how you design it. Now here, Levi is not a person, but a student.
Student.
Yes. Okay, check if it works. A problem?
It's not defined.
Oh, you did not enter that a while ago. The earlier,
This one.
yes. Did you shift enter?
Yes, I have.
You did not.
Oh,
You need to put column.
text.
Okay, so
So
what is the problem here?
this one only two, I guess.
Yes, no, me is not granted. The student supposed to take course, not the name. So say IBE, the course is IBE. Okay, the birthday no need to put there. Okay. Before the 8th, that is okay. Can you put the Levi dot birthday equal to no,
Also,
equal to what? What is the format? 2000, the string, right? So you put quote, yes, 2002, that's 2, that's 2.
like this.
Okay, so you run it now. Oh, it works.
Yeah.
Look at the class in student here. Okay. There is no birthday in the class of student. Can you see it? There is no age in the class of student, but it can work that to calculate the age. Because the student inherit person. Correct or not?
Yes.
Yes. So this is how you will reuse your software. Can you see it or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to say something about okay, suppose you have this code, okay? I will share my screen. Suppose you have this code, right? So when you type help person, okay, it will have age, right? And it will have years between. But I don't want to tell to outside that there is a method named years between. I want to hide it. Why? Because it's supposed to be private inside the person. The person that does not have method called years between. It only have age, right? So how to hide that information from outside? Okay. The technique is to add 1 or 2 underscore. Okay, by setting 1 or 2 underscores, I will put 2 underscore in the beginning like this. Okay, look, a while ago when I did not put underscore, years between is there in the help, right? So now I will run it and help the person has no more help between. years between, right? Only age. So this information is hidden from outside. Okay, this information now become private inside that person, no longer public. Okay, so this is the concept of encapsulation. Okay, meaning you design the object and the method that is public. Inside the private method, you can change whatever you want. So the idea is called information hiding. Okay, you hide the internal representation, the state, the object from outside. Why? To prevent certain accidental accessing to your data. Okay, so using this, your code become more robust actually, right? Because what? Because you will not be able to make it change without the one that you already designed. Unintentional access you remove. Okay, so you can create private methods or private properties. Okay, the technique is simply add what is that? Underscore in the beginning of the name. Until here, is it clear or not? So for method, okay, you can put set and get method. For example, the maximum speed of a vehicle here, right? So instead of let the people from outside go directly to modify maximum speed, you put underscore here so that the maximum speed cannot be accessed from outside. Okay, and then to access, you need to put it either from set maximum speed or get maximum speed. Can you see this or not?
But sir, when we get the maximum speed, there's another underscore.
Yeah. The underscore is private. Okay. Say you want to validate the input. You can for example, in here, I will copy and paste it. In this example, I created vehicles. Okay. So if I can put if max speed is larger than 100, okay, oh no, between 0 to 100, then set the max speed, else, okay, max speed is 0, for example. So you can validate your input using setter method. Can you see that or not? This one is to get your maximum speed from outside. The people who want to get the maximum speed will use this method. Okay. The person who want to access your maximum speed cannot go directly. Vehicle maximum speed cannot. Why? Using this, you will prevent some coding error. Okay. Say you have another type of vehicle that actually have maximum speed, and then you mistakenly access this directly, then you will have headache because you don't know which one which object which, right? So using this clearly defined, explicitly saying that if you want to access me inside, you must use this store Yeah, setter and getter method is basically like a door. Okay, without this, if you go directly without the private, yeah, by underscore here is making it into private, right? Without this access to private method or private properties like this, then everyone can have access because this is public. So the technique in encapsulation or in information hiding is you limit the access. Only the one that you design to be accessible, then go through this door. It is getter and setter method. Is it clear?
Yes, I think it's clear.
The concept, huh? So, yeah.
But sir, is it has to be underscore or we just can set anything?
No, you need to be underscore in the beginning.
Oh,
Either
so self
underscore or two underscore. Yeah. In the
two underscore. Okay.
2 underscore or 1 underscore is fine. But
Okay.
the end, huh? Because when you put it the end, the underscore is also the end. For example, a while ago here, if you put maximum speed and then underscore again, it will not become a private anymore.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so only in the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. So here is my other example. Okay. Instead of vehicle, I use this. Class example, right? So in this class, okay, in it is private properties ABC. Okay. So I define that class. So now I create an object. Where is this? Okay. So I create an object is an example. What happens if I print like this? Public method 20. When I print like this, it will show 20A. What is this? So in this line, I define OBG is a class of example. And then when I said public method 20, so 20 is become num in here. And then it will return private method with this underscore underscore private method. The num will be passed there. And then it will say string num with this 20 and then add with A. Right? So,
Yes.
so this is the one that returns. So you can access the public method, can access the private method. But in here, I cannot access the private method. It will create error, you see, there. It will say example object has no attribute private method.
Oh, okay. So the class can access the private method itself, but we cannot access the private method
From outside,
from outside.
cannot.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay. Clear, yeah? What's
Yes.
the meaning of private? From outside, you cannot go inside the private method or private property. Okay? So until here, any question? You understand the meaning of public and private here, right? How do you access? So up to here, clear? Do you want me to confuse you a little bit? So actually in Python, there is no private method, okay? Everything is public in Python. Oh, but you just showed me a while ago there's a private method. Yes, it's just an agreement that this is a private method, but actually this is not private. Internally, Python only rename it. Okay, what is the name? The name is something like this. Okay, so if I put it object example property here, private property, it works, ABC. Can you see that? This is supposed to be private property, right? When you said object private property here, okay, I will show you. Object private property, and then you print, it will not work, right? Okay. This is private property. It's error. There is no private property, isn't it? But actually, this is not really private. This is actually public. How do you know? Here, internally, when you put underscore here, okay, Python will name it the class name underscore class name, and then that does. Okay, so it is actually still public. I can still access it from outside, isn't it? So I can still access a while ago private method also. Okay. So object dot underscore example. Okay. Private method. Right? Private method. Width is 20. Okay. See? I can still access it from outside.
So it just rename it into something else.
Yes. It just make it more difficult only. Meaning, if you want to hack, you can hack it. Okay. Anyway, this is just to confuse you further. So, basically, try to make it private as much as possible so that Python will automatically rename, then you, in your mind, forget what I just said a while ago, okay? That you can actually access. Okay, so up to here, you know what is public and private. And you already know also inheritance, right? So I created a square which is based on a rectangle, and then, oh, this one important, right? Okay, let's copy. The class rectangle, I created again, rectangle. Okay, and then I have another class named square. Look at this, the way I define the square. Wait. Okay, the rectangle is just normal, right? So init is width and height, and then calculate the area, isn't it? But in defining the square, okay, I inherited from rectangle, and then the init is side. Okay, I name it side. Okay, the square have one side, one dimension with this side. Okay, then the four of them. Now, accessing the parent class function is to call this rectangle init. What does this mean in the line 15 here? It means it goes to the parent with this rectangle here in line 5. And then the width is now become side, the height is now become side. Is it clear? So in here, I can define another one. So define perimeter. Oh. So do you know what is the perimeter of a rectangle?
2 width plus 2 height.
Yes, correct. So self width, okay, plus self height, right? Oh, this is times 2, and this one also times 2, correct? Okay. Then I will say S1 is the square. Okay. What is the size? 4. So I want to know S1 perimeter. Okay. So give me S1 perimeter. Oh, 16. Nice, right? So using this, okay, I can access directly the parent class, okay, by the name of the parent class and then init or any function. Okay. Say, for example, not just function, I can access something else. Let's say I add in here color. Okay. Then in here, I will have self color equal, say, I will name it red in here. Okay, look at this. Now it's no longer function. Now I'm accessing the property. So I want to know S1. So I want to know what is S1 color. Oh, not working. Oh, not working because, okay, now working, right? You see, in here I am accessing the parent method. In here I am accessing the parent property. Okay, so then I will say, okay, S1 color is no longer red. I want to make it blue. Can I? Of course, I can. Hey, blue. So I have R1 is actually rectangle, right? So 4,5 equal. So what is R1 color? Red. Okay. Let's print this so that you will see. So the S1 color is blue and R1 color is red. Can you see this or not? So you can access the property and the method of the parent. You can even override it. Say, for example, in here, in square, I don't want to use that perimeter, okay? I want to use a new perimeter. Self here, okay? Which is what? Self side perimeter of a square is 4, right? Return 4 times side. Okay. So then, oh, I did not set the side here. That's why not working. So I need to set the side equal side. Yeah. See, I make it wrong so that you will see the difference. Okay. I multiply by 6 instead of 4. Then you will get 24, which is clearly not the perimeter of the rectangle, isn't it? So up to here, you already understand the meaning of encapsulation, information hiding. You know how to create a class. You know how class inherit to each other. And you know how to access the parent properties and method. Are you? Is there any question about those things? No problem?
No problem, sir. I think.
Yeah. Really, yeah. Okay, so another way instead of rectangle here, let me share my screen again. Instead of rectangle in it, okay, you can also use super. This is exactly the same thing. Okay, what is this? Super of me with a square, okay, and then self. Leafy will probably name it me rather than self, right? It's exactly the same. You probably ask why we need to have super. Super in here mean the parent, huh? The parent of whom? The parent of square. Okay. So if it is clear, you can also remove the square and self. So you can also use this. Super init. It's exactly the same thing. Can you see this? Super init. So these are different ways to access your parent class function. Okay. Okay. Now, of course, one parent can have multiple class. Okay. So person can have teacher and student, for example. Okay. Now, to test if a certain class inherited from another parent class, you can use this method. Huh? Is subclass. Is subclass is the child class and then parent class. So you ask if student subclass of a person, person class, yes, true. Huh? And to test if an object inherited from certain class, again you use is instant a while ago. So until here, is there any question? Is it really clear? Next, I want to explain about abstract class. Okay, you already know class, okay, and object. Now I want to create what is called abstract class. Oh, it's time. Okay, maybe next meeting. Abstract class. Okay, you can try to read first. Okay, abstract class is kind of contract. Okay, so abstract class and then multiple inheritance. Try to read and try to use this and start to think about it, that there is something is not so simple to explain here. Okay, try to read it first. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So abstract class is a contract from other class, so that you will create an error if you don't use that contract. So basically like that. Anyway, read it first and we'll meet. Oh, next week still have class, correct?
Yes, sir. We still have class next week.
Okay, not holiday, right?
No, we have holiday tomorrow until Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, so next week is normal.
Okay, good. So see you next week then.
Okay, thank you, sir. See you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.